Another snowy morning. Hello. Good morning. Today is Sunday, April 30th. And I don't know if you can see, oh, it's kind of stopped right now, but we were getting, oh, it's off and on. We get snow, big, huge, wet snowflakes, but they melt as soon as they hit the ground. We had rain all day yesterday, so it melted a whole bunch of snow. It's very exciting. And excuse me if I look tired. I am. Adjusting back to working 12-hour shifts is, after 2 years, it's something to get used to. That's for sure. Oh, the woodpecker's in the anthill. I'm surprised he hasn't noticed yet. Usually scares it away. It's right there. You didn't notice your woodpecker, buddy. The woodpecker comes and eats the ants out of the anthill he tore up. Right there. I can't find it now. Must have flew away. But as you can see, oh, he found it. A lot of the snow got melted. That's very exciting. It's very wet, but that'll eventually seep into the ground and give us a good crop. So, very exciting. But still lots here. Still lots of snow. So Charlie got into a burdock bush and has been struggling. That was Tuesday. He got a little piece of one in his throat, and with a collapsed trachea, he's been struggling big time. Trying to cough it up and choking and gagging, and then Thursday he was vomiting, and I called my vet, but she's in Wisconsin right now, so we have to get a couple things for him. But he seems better now. He seems like he's on the mend, but it took some energy out of him, that's for sure. And he let me clip him a little bit too, which is really good, because those burrs like to get stuck in long-haired dogs, that's for sure. Thorn didn't even get one. And just before I left for work on Thursday night, Rod came in and told me that one of our chickens died. He just found her in the run, and I haven't had a chance to go out and look. It's either Bonbon or Bubbles, so I have a feeling it's Bubbles, but I haven't had a chance to actually go and observe and see which one's which. Let's see, yeah, pretty sure that one is Bonbon and that one is Wendy. It was a white one, so we're down to 2 whites and 2 blacks. She was one of the older ones, so yeah, it was definitely our Bubbles. When I used to do that to Bubbles, she would get down and she would do a little dance. Hey girls, we're soaking their food again, which they love. They just love it. Hey girls. And we got to get in here now that the weather is warmer. We need to clean out the coop. There's quite a pile under there from their roosting, and it's starting to get a bit of an odor, so we keep this door open now. But with Rod working and me working now, it's difficult to get together and actually be able to do stuff together. As you can see, lots of melted snow here too, thankfully. Still expecting to get snow, but it shouldn't actually stick around. Like, it'll be the kind of snow, I think, that even if it does stay on the ground, it won't stay on for very long and shouldn't accumulate much. So that is a sign of spring here, I guess. Our friends that we went back in the bush to visit off-grid a couple months ago now, they actually got snow all day yesterday, so I'm very thankful we got rain. And it's weird because they're only 20 minutes away, but they had snow all day and we had rain all day. So super thankful. I feel bad for them because it's just discouraging, especially when we're not used to this. We're used to much warmer weather in southern Ontario, where we're all from. It can be quite difficult to get used to something very different.
What are you doing, baby? What are you doing? What? You a happy girl? You a happy girl? Hi, Minnie. You're so sweet. Hey, sweetie.
Hello, folks. Finally, some of the snow is melting. Yay! I know we'll still get snow. Probably end up still getting snow until May. Well, it is May. Today is Monday, May 1st. Yeah. That's the joys of living in northwestern Ontario. Lots of snow, and it stays for a really long time. Today has got to be the most windiest day I have ever experienced here yet. We actually almost lost our solar panels. Believe it or not, if it wasn't for them being chained down, we would have lost them. They would have actually probably gone all the way down the hill. We live on a slight hill, and yeah, they would have been gone and smashed. So we need to get those up and more stable. It's crazy. This wind is just ridiculous. There is a high wind warning for today. So on the forecast, it looks like, I think the highest was 45 kilometer winds. That's pretty high, but yeah, it's just everything's blowing everywhere. It's crazy. construction is so loud today. I'm sure you can hear it in the background. Backup beeping and the rock trucks and everything else. It has been a bit of a trial having the construction just at the end of our driveway. So I know I've talked about this before, but they're twinning the highway. So we live on the Trans-Canada Highway and they're actually doubling it just because it is one of the most dangerous highways, and there's a lot of deaths every year, especially in the winter, but still even in the summer. Just because it's mountainous here, and there's a lot of ups and downs and arounds, and people aren't cautious as they should be. And if you don't have more highway to try and prevent accidents, but a lot of people have lost their property to the highway because of this twinning. Our neighbors across the road, they ended up having to sell their property to the MTO, I believe it was, and yeah, it's sad. The gentleman was there for 80 years. He was born and raised on that property, and they had to give up their homestead and move into town. But I don't think people realize how many people up here have lost their property because of this construction going on, and they really have no choice. I mean, the highways has been decided to go where it's going, and they have to leave their property. They don't have a choice. And I know it's also happening further up. Hydro has decided to put in more towers, and people are also losing their property, and their property is totally changing dramatically and drastically because of these hydro towers going in. And yeah, it's sad because people don't realize, if you're not from here, you don't realize the devastation that is to people. They've invested everything into their property, into their homestead, and they've built this place for themselves, and then, you know, they just come say, we're taking your property, and there's nothing we can really do about it. So luckily it hasn't happened to us, and or anyone that we know other than our neighbors. But I mean, if we lived here, it would be happening to people that we know. We just don't know them yet, right? And so it's yeah, it's not an easy thing for some of the folks up here. Good boy. What you doing? Charlie's finally starting to feel better. Still kind of lethargic and off, but so yesterday I took the dogs out for a bit of a walk, and we came across this skull of something. We had no idea what it was, and anyways, I put it out there on social media and had lots of guesses, and the main one that people thought was probably a deer, but it was actually a pig's skull. So the previous owners had a couple of pigs. I think their names were Ham and Bacon or something like that. And yeah, so I think they ended up keeping one of the skulls. They had planned for it, and it didn't turn out, so it got buried, and now it's unburied. So yeah. It's kind of funny the things you come across on your property when somebody else has owned it before you, right? So. Wind is crazy. It blew our tarp over there. And Thorn is not liking that tarp being over there. It's just a tarp, bud! I had a feeling this was going to happen. There goes our wood shelter. And our panels have moved. If it wasn't connected to this, we would have lost our panels. See where it moved. Picked it right up and moved it. Rod and I moved it back yesterday, but it got moved again through the night. Twisted the frame. These winds are brutal. I slowed down a little bit. It's 35 kilometers an hour now, going up to 40 today, but they were 45 to 50 yesterday. Just crazy. Charlie's on a track. He's got a track on something. Look at him go. Guys, wait for me. Must have been a bunny, because bunnies go all over the place and they're crazy. What'd you find, bud? Look at that jump in his step. Come here, Charlie. Charlie, come. Charlie! Come on, bud! Come on, bud! Charlie, come on! Corn, you're crazy. Good boy, Charlie. You coming? Come on, let's go. Let's go have breakfast. Come on, let's go get some food, bud. What do you smell, buddy? So Rod and I went into town today, and when we got back, there was a lynx right beside our wood pile. Thankfully, it didn't get into the coop. That's what it was here for, to visit our chickens. But we were able to scare it off. I was trying to get footage of it, but it was not a very big one. It was just a small one. But once they know there is chickens here, we might end up having to get rid of it. Good morning, folks. Today is Friday, May 5th. And I don't really have that much to say. Preparation day today. Yeah, not too much going on right now. Just, well, I shouldn't say that. There's lots going on, but it's all stuff in the works. It's all stuff in the making. We're just seeing a lot of our snow melting finally. Yay! Finally! And I actually heard on the radio the other day, warmer than usual temperatures. Yay! So good to finally, yesterday we went into Thunder Bay just to get supplies and groceries and stuff, and I didn't even wear a coat. It was I think 12 degrees overall, and last night I was out with Thorn, and 10 degrees. I think it's about 7 degrees here right now, and yeah, which is moderate temperature finally, and supposed to get some rain today, which will also help the rest of the snow melt. But yeah, we're finally starting to feel springy here. It was feeling more like sprinter. Now it's springy. But yeah, it's exciting to finally see some change in the weather. And the one thing I don't like about spring is just the muck and stuff, but thankfully this year we have a mudroom, which really helps, and another dog, so that even helps even better with having a mudroom. But always having to wash their paws off before we go into the house, and that's annoying. But yeah, it's wet and mucky, and yeah, don't usually get as much sun, so just watching Thorn here. I don't know if I'll turn it around here so you can see him. Just have to keep an eye on him. We had a lynx here yesterday, so just as Rod and I got home from Thunder Bay, we drove in, and there was a lynx sitting pretty much right by our wood pile. And Thorny, hey, Thorn, come here. Come on, bud. Come on, bud. Come on. Good boy. Yeah, so I tried to get footage of it, but we scared it off. I could see it in the bush, but it snuck off before I could get like a clear shot of it. And I was actually doing my Zoom class for my nutrition course, so at the same time trying to like listen to that and walking through the bush trying to get a video or a shot at least of this lynx. But I don't know if it's the same one that we had the last time that came over to the coop, but it very easily could be, which means it has gotten the idea that it knows there's chickens there, and we just can't have that. So hopefully it doesn't come back, but very commonly they do come back, and they're well-known predators to chickens. So it wasn't a very big one, but that doesn't matter. They still eat chicken. And yeah, so hopefully we don't have to take care of it in that way, but if we do, we have to, like, save our animals, right? So yeah, but it ran off quite quickly, so almost like they don't have a tail, but almost like their head down, his head down, kind of like, darn it, I didn't get one this time either. So, but yeah, we just can't have it coming around like that. And if we want to be able to free range them We do pastured free range with the electric netting, but we can't have that right now. Thankfully, they're in the run, and we are getting Roo back. He survived the winter, and we are getting him back, so that will be helpful. I was hoping to get 2 roosters, but you can only usually do 2 roosters if they're raised together, or they'll fight. So we can't do that with Roo, so we'll let Roo live out as long as he can, and hopefully he can handle 16 chickens now, because that's what we have. He couldn't handle 17, so who knows. They say 8 to 10, and 16 is double that, so I don't know. We'll see, but hopefully we can let them out soon. But we have to let the earth dry up, because the electric netting just doesn't work if there's too much water around, so we're gonna have to stretch it out. Unfortunately, we left it up all winter, and it fared well. I just hope that it didn't break any of the wires. So I guess we'll see once the ground dries up and we can get that going. That will be a good deterrent for predators. But a cat can also jump. And if Thorn can jump 4 feet, they might be able to jump over a 4-foot. But it is electrified, so I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, we did well last year with it, so hopefully we'll be able to do the same this year with it. So yeah, we're just getting ready for the Sabbath tomorrow, and Rod's going into work today, so I'm on my own, just getting everything ready. And Rod's been busy. We had our shelter blow away in that big windstorm that we had, so our shelter was right there, and now it's like way up there and kind of all, I don't know if we're going to be able to use it for anything, but yeah, so, and we have lots of hopes and dreams, and hopefully they come to fruition this year. Yeah, I don't want to like say everything that we're planning on and hoping to do, but it's almost necessary stuff that we have to do. So one of the things I can mention is getting our high tunnel up to extend our growing season, and that's going basically right where I'm standing and all the way out to this. So it's 100 feet long, so it's gonna take up a fair bit of space, but yeah, so I know that's something that's in the works, and we have a couple other projects that we really want to get done before the nice weather is over. Anyways, it looks like my asparagus patch is flooded, so I'm hoping it doesn't, I put a lot of sand in there, but I'm hoping it doesn't rot out my roots, but I guess we'll see. As you can see, exactly where I planted everything, that's where the moisture is. So hopefully that sinks into the ground soon and it's not destroyed the roots. This is where the lynx came through. But I want to get these dogs out of here and back into the house. All right. Morning. Come on back. Good boy. Yeah, we've had some crazy winds. And yeah, unfortunately lost our wood shelter, and I don't think we're gonna be able to fix it. So we'll have to do something else. Hopefully be able to build something that's a bit more sturdy and stable. We definitely need to get our solar panels up and way more stable. We cannot afford to be losing them. But I mean, thankfully we didn't, and the stuff we had in place actually, I mean, it's too bad we lost the wood shelter, but maybe we'll be able to use it for something else. Who knows? But just remember, life's too short. Take any adventure that you can.